You're not a glitch. You're somebody. Those are signals, and we need to address them, and they likely are found within connection. So then we start looking at family relationships. We start looking at what may have caused them to look into a substance to cover over a loss of connection somewhere else.
Yeah, there was a really good saying that was dropped on me a little bit ago was those without purpose seek pleasure. And so I could relate to that in going it like I didn't want to feel this. So, I wanted to feel some pleasure to take that pain away. Now, with that said, how much within your work with family reconciliation are you seeing trauma backgrounds with a lot of these people and how that's caused a lot of that divide or isolation and self-isolation?
That's a great question, Jason. Just off the top of my head, I'd probably say at least half. It's probably more. But it's probably more, maybe closer to 60 to 70% trauma, because trauma is a broad word, right? So
Sure.
Something could have happened to you or you experienced that was traumatic. Maybe I experienced it. It's not as traumatic, so I don't qualify as traumatic, right? So there's a little bit of a gray area with trauma, but it's at least half, if not more. And it is an important part that plays into how people make decisions. Most of us make, and again, this is, we're going into research areas here, but most of us make decisions today based on our past. You agree with that? Most of us make decisions today based on our past experience. Family Reconcile's mentoring model is really a transformation of that mindset to make decisions based on your future self. So we want you to get making decisions based on your future self, not on your past. And when we can do that and lay the groundwork for that, which we do through our 6-month model there, now you see that transformation start to take place. And in addition to that, we're also looking at connection. How are we with ourselves first? You got to connect with yourself first. And then from there, you move out to your family. From there, you move out to society.
And I bet that you're anyone with addiction that you've been working with, the last thing they want to do is connect with themselves because they have to then dig down to all of those things underneath. And why am I using?
That's right. Fear. So on a spectrum, there's a spectrum that we use sometimes, and it relates to what I just said about most of us making decisions based on our past. So that's actually a study where 85%, so 8 to 9 out of every 10 people make decisions on a spectrum somewhere their whole life, every day, somewhere between anger and fear. 85% of us make decisions based every day somewhere between there. And what we try to do is help people to see that through a transformational process, you can get onto the other side of fear. And what's on the other side of fear, gentlemen? Joy, contentment, gratitude. So you can get there. And I think most of us, there isn't a person alive that wouldn't say, well, I want joy. I want contentment. I want gratitude. But getting there is an entirely different thing, right? And so most people say it, but they're not committed to that because of what you were saying, Jason, because they may be hiding from things internally. And so that you see how that fear, they're afraid to confront things in themselves. So that fear keeps them stuck making decisions today based on their past.